Hey everyone, Yusuf here. This is going to be a basics on the DOM video. This is Jigsaw trading software. If you would like to purchase this software, it's a bit expensive, but I highly recommend it. It is, in my opinion, the best DOM that you can get. Link for it is in my bio. You can also use the code word Yusuf for $30 off. And if you're interested, definitely use my link down below with my coupon code. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And now that that's out of the way, I can go ahead and start explaining what the DOM is, the basics of it, and how I personally use it. So a lot of people have heard of level 2, and level 2 is pretty much you seeing all of the resting buy orders, resting sell orders. So the DOM pretty much takes that information, displays it in a more appealing manner to the eye, and it displays it like this. So we'll just go column by column real quick. This over here is, like I said, the notes section. So let's just say I like to write my levels out here, for example. So I'll write, this is a level for me. Maybe this was the previous low of the day. Maybe this was previous high. Maybe this was the overnight low, something like that. But yeah. Oh, by the way, this is also on demo, just so I can show you guys how to get in and out of positions and stuff like that. So yeah, this over here is just a columns, a little column for me to write notes in. Maybe over here I can write 10/02 buyer or something like that. But yeah, just a column for my notes. We can go ahead, and I think this is, where is it? There's a column. Yeah, there you go. Clear alerts. Pretty much clears all of the columns over there. Next up is the volume profile. So pretty much what this is it tells you the amount of contracts that were traded at each tick. So over here at 36.54 and 3/4, we saw 40 contracts traded here. 901 at 36.55, and etc. You get the point. I use this more to look at the distributions that are occurring, see if I can spot low volume nodes intraday, stuff like that. Next up is the price. So in our example over here, ES goes by 0.25 increments, so it's going to list every single tick out for you. So in 1 point ES there's 4 ticks. So over here you can see at 36.55, 36.54 and 3/4, 36.54 halves, 36.54 and 1/4, 36.54. So it just lists out each and every single tick. And since we are trading futures tend to be more liquid, so we see how there are orders sitting at each and every single tick. Usually the only time you don't see this is when there's some important news pending, or just pretty much when news is coming out. Even during Globex, the books are really liquid. Next up is the bid column. So like I said before, the level 2 displays all of the resting orders. So it just takes that and it displays it in this vertical manner. So this blue column over here shows all of the passive buy orders, right? So there's 2 types of orders. You have limit orders and you have market orders. Limit orders you can view as passive buyers. So over here at 36.54, 106 contracts are listed there for to buy. So we'll just pretend that these are individual people. So 116 people now want to buy at 36.54. Personally, for ES, I feel like there's no benefit of looking at the bid and ask columns. Some people will swear that it makes a difference, but personally for ES it doesn't. I was talking to a few other traders though, and for example, for NQ, it may make a difference if you spot 80 contracts sitting on the bid or sitting on the ask, because the book is a bit thinner. And when I say book, I pretty much mean how many contracts are sitting at each tick size. So yeah, pretty much just passive buyers over here at these prices. Next up is the this pretty much shows all of the market sell orders. So you can view the so pretty much, before I jump into this more, just know that these 2 columns are the ones that I have my eyes on while trading intraday. view these as aggressive sellers, right? So over here, for example, in this right over here, at 36.54 and a quarter, 144 contracts were sold into the bid. And then over here, you can see this is blue to represent buying. So over here at 36.55 and 3/4, 118 contracts were bought into the offer at 36.55 and 3/4. So these are the two main columns that I pay attention to, because market orders are what really move the market. If you see aggressive buying but price is failing to go bid, maybe there's a seller there that's absorbing and building out a position out before he starts getting aggressive and starts dropping this thing lower. Once again, this is just a very basic video on the DOM and how it's set up. Next up is the ask column. These are just passive sellers. So for example, at 36.58, 118 people want to sell a contract at 36.58. So there's 118 contracts for sale at that price. Next up is just my orders column. Pretty much the orders column just displays whatever orders I want. So if I want to sell a contract, boom, we'll just list it over there. Pretty much 3L stands for 3 lots. Q means like the Q, like QUE. So in order for me to get filled at 36.61 and 3/4, 87 contracts have to be traded there, and then I'll get filled. Oops. Next up is the ask profile. These are just an ask and bid profile. This just allows me to spot any imbalances in the market. So it pretty much just takes the volume profile and tells you whether it was a market sell order or a market buy order that took place. So for example, at 36.54 and a quarter, a total of 415 contracts were traded. Of the total of 415, 322 contracts were sold and 93 were bought. Over here at 36.54, we traded a total of 90 contracts, and of those 90, all 90 were actually market sell orders. So like I said, just allows me to spot imbalances. So for example, if at let's just say 36.60, there's a huge buy imbalance, and then all of a sudden we offer below it and 36.60 becomes an offer. I know that there's trapped buyers over there, and if we come back to visit those prices, I kind of want to see how they react when we come back to visit them. So that's pretty much the basics of what's on my DOM. I know it seems like a lot, but the main thing you want to keep your eyes on are these two columns right over here, the at bid and at ask columns. In terms of how not trade ovate, sorry about that. In terms of how Jigsaw works, this little tool over here will pop. If you click this will pop up, and this allows you to select the different account sizes and stuff like that. And then in terms of placing an order on the DOM, you can just select the number of contracts you want right over here. You can change the number by right clicking it. Maybe you want to go to 4 or whatever, etc. Leave this on auto leave this on auto. You don't want to touch this. These are just the different stop losses that you have. So I have from a 6 tick to a 12 tick. I don't ever use the market columns. I always try to get in manually. The only things I will use are the Flatten Cancel button. So maybe if I put an order in here or something like that, I'll just hit cancel or something like that, just in case. Or like, let's just say I get in a position, get it right there, I'll just hit flatten or something like that if I don't like it. So the difference between flatten and cancel here, I'll just quickly get in another position real quick. Oops, I'm in a contract actually. All right, so let me just flatten that real quick. All right, let me get back in here. All right, so if I hit flatten, it will get me out of my position and cancel all of the orders that I have in, right? So we'll go ahead and click flatten, and as you can see, I got out of my position and it canceled my my stop loss. But let's just get back in here real quick. Come on, film me real quick. All right. Oops. All right. So now we're in here. Now if I hit cancel, it's still going to keep me in my position, but it's not going to flatten my position. So it's just going to cancel my stop loss. So that's why usually I'll usually only hit flatten. I barely use cancel, because if I accidentally hit cancel, right, and let's just say I don't realize I'm in a position, you know, I have a stop loss. All of a sudden, if we're trading, you know, 53s or whatever, you know, it's a 7-point loss. So yeah, in terms of getting in and out of positions, in order to buy, you just have to go over the price that you want to get into on the blue column. So for example, if I want to get in at 36.57, I'll go ahead and hit that. And then if I want to cancel it, I'll just hit the right part of my mouse, right click it on my mouse, and then if I want to adjust the order quantity, I left click my mouse and I can do this and then change it like that. Clip size, stop losses, and then if you want to sell, you know, it's the same thing, just hit in right there on the ask, and then it will pretty much just, you know, get you in there. But this was just a very basic video on the DOM, because I had a few people ask me the basics of it. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I highly suggest getting a good DOM, one that you're able to see the at bid and at ask, because that's just the two main columns that I focus on. A lot of basic platforms like Trade08, TD Ameritrade's Active Trade or whatever it's called, they don't have the at bid and at ask column. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye everyone.